Hi friends! So I started making videos in 2011, and when I started, I was pretty much just making them for me, but everything changed at VidCon in 2015. That's when I really started to find a community making videos with Femtube, which is a group of women and other marginalized communities that formed during a Women on YouTube workshop and just kept growing. And it made me feel like all the work that I'd been doing here mattered for something. So to celebrate 2 years of this community, Allie, who is a wonderful leader and organizer in the Femtube space, asked us all to make reactions to our first YouTube video. But I think there's a lot of ways that I could interpret first, so we're gonna look at all of them. I think actually all of these videos are privated now, so this will be a treat. So here goes. First video I ever uploaded to YouTube I made right after I got my first laptop for high school graduation. I made it with like the built-in webcam, and it was an acoustic cover of The Lonely Islands on a boat.
On a boat, everybody look at me 'cause I'm sailing on a boat, yeah.
So this was so earnest, so pure, so colorful. Also, so this little side bang child thought she was real original doing an acoustic cover of a parody of a rap video. There were levels. Now sometimes I regret that I didn't start making YouTube videos sooner, but that's kind of incorrect because like the moment I had the tools, the moment I got a computer and a webcam, this was literally the first thing I did. But that was actually a different channel. So the first video that I uploaded to ItsRadishTime, I actually created this channel to make time-lapse art videos.
What have I gotten myself into?
I used to always take art classes in high school and hang out in the art room. I would draw in the margins of my notebooks and on my hands. I wonder what I had on Friday at 2:30. Like probably a therapy appointment. That's what that year was like. I remember I wanted to be an artist or a graphic designer, so I made these daily time-lapse videos thinking that it would make me get better at art, and I didn't actually get that much better, but I did learn that video is also a kind of art. And it taught me how to do basic editing and stuff. I remember I made these videos for like a year and a half, and I was super excited when I got 50 subscribers. It took me a year and a half to get 50 subscribers, which is probably why I'm still going even though my channel is like still tiny 6 years later. This is when we get into the artsy video phase. This is when I wanted to learn to be like a filmmaker, so I got my first DSLR camera as a combined Christmas, graduation, birthday present my senior year of college. It is actually the same camera that I am using right now. I just got a new one, but I haven't learned to use it yet. But I wanted to like direct music videos, so I dragged my boyfriend to the library at my school and made him like hold the camera while I just like wafted ethereally about the library. So moody. Such art. I actually never like studied in the library through most of college. I just studied in like my dorm room or my apartment, and this video that I made start of my second semester senior year was like, oh yeah, there's a library here, I should probably use it. Also, I kept making these kinds of videos for long enough that I ended up starting to shoot people's weddings, which is how I paid for all my lenses. So you know, waft away girl. And now, what I refer to as ItsRadishTime CE.
Hi guys, my name is Taylor and welcome to my channel. It is April, so like many YouTubers, I have decided to vlog every day.
So when I started my channel, I was doing a different kind of daily video challenge, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it anymore, so I joined this Facebook group and decided to do Vita. In April of 2014, I made my first proper vlog. This is, you know, like not terrible vlogging. I've got background music, I'm sitting in front of a bookshelf, like got all the ingredients. I think coming up with vlogs was actually easier then because I hadn't told you anything yet. It was all new. I didn't really learn how to tell stories the way that I do now until after Vita 2015, because by then I'd exhausted all of the like fully baked stories that I had in my head, and I had to learn how to create stories out of just little hazy scraps of memories that I had in my mind. And 3 years later, this is what you're getting. The cool thing about creating for a platform like YouTube is that the barrier to entry is so much lower than a lot of other things, so it allowed me to reinvent what I make more than even 4 times over. It's cool that any week, any video that I put up could be the first of something. And it's introduced me to so many incredible friends and supportive communities that make me want to keep trying. So if you want to see more Femtube rewinds, I will link the playlist as well as the Facebook group as soon as the playlist is live. I think it should be up tomorrow as of when I upload this. In the comments, tell me about the first time that you did something that was important to you. If you like this video, you can subscribe. You can also find me pretty much anywhere on the internet at ItsRadishTime, and I will see you next week. Bye.